Assalamu alaikum. In today's Honey What's Cooking, we are making chicken roulades. Actually, this is a recipe which my daughter found for me. Very simple and very simple flavors. There's not much cooking. We are actually going to bake them, and I will walk you through the ingredients now. We are using chicken breast. These are chicken breast halves. What we have to do is we have to place them in a plastic bag and bash them with a wooden basher or hammer, whatever it is called. It has to be gentle, just making sure that the thickness flattens and the meat doesn't break. If the meat does break, we will take care of that. This is the extent that we want to reach to. It should be a thickness or thinness, whatever you want to call, that can be rolled with a filling. So already done the bashing part of it, but I just still wanted to tell you how to go about it. So my daughter just tells me that the meat basher is actually a pounder. So that's a wooden pounder. You can use a metal one too. You just have to be gentle not to break the meat. So I've got chicken breast halves pounded flat so that they can be rolled. I've got 8 pieces of these. These are about a kg in all. I've got sun-dried tomatoes. I've got a combination of mushrooms. I've got sage, black pepper, salt. I've got garlic powder. I've got onion powder. I've got olive oil. I'll be using pepper jack cheese, and I'll be using a combination of fresh green leaves. Now you can actually use any spices or stuffing that you feel like using. There's no hard and fast rule to it. These are pretty much mild. If at this point of time you want to add some desiness, you can use a chicken tikka masala, you can use a chicken bihari bodi masala, you can use a seekh kebab masala. Just try it once and then you can improvise and make your own variations. What I'm essentially going to do now, I'll mix all the dry spices. So the black pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, sage. We are using dry sage powder. If you have fresh sage, that's going to do wonders as well. Sage has a very nice aroma. And we are going to bake our roulades, so that's going to give us some very good flavor and aroma at the same time. And finally, salt. So the dry spices all mixed up. The chicken breast that has been pounded will be seasoned a little bit generously. So the dry spices all mixed up. The chicken breast that has been pounded will be seasoned a little bit generously. We have a couple of chicken breasts seasoned with all the dry spices. Next, I will be adding in a layer of pepper jack cheese. I'm saying layer, that's about half a piece. Next, followed by a couple of fresh green leaves. Any leaves of your choice, spinach, any kind of lettuce, ricotta, anything that you have handy or anything that you prefer. Next, a couple of sliced mushrooms. Again, mushroom of your choice. If you don't want to do mushroom altogether, that's fine too. Sun-dried tomatoes, again, these are very optional. If you don't have sun-dried tomatoes, you don't really have to add them. I would advise you not to add fresh tomatoes because that's going to add too much moisture, and that might be a bit hard to handle for the cooking purpose of it. Taking in the edges first and then moving forward, making sure to keep as much of the stuffing inside as you can, and there we are. And I just wanted to tell you, like, if for any reason the roulade is not rolling properly, you can use toothpicks, or if you want, you can sew them like you would sew a duck or a chicken while you're roasting it. It just helps it to stay together, so there's no harm. We have made the chicken rolls. Now remember, these were like half pieces of breast, not the whole breast. So there wasn't much meat that would have given us a couple of wraps that could have shown a couple of layers to the roulade. We've done the best that we can. If you have full chicken breast and that you pound, you'll have a bigger piece of meat that you can make a roll out of. A baking pan which has been oiled, you can use a spray or any oil, cooking oil that you use. And now we're going to place the chicken rolls for a bake. With the chicken rolls in the baking tray, now the only thing that we need to do is a drizzle of olive oil. You could use butter, but today we are using olive oil. And the only reason why we have these in the foil, these are without cheese, for people who do not want dairy for whatever reasons. A separate set. And now the oven has been preheated at 375. These will bake for 25 minutes initially. Then we will take them out, give them a dressing of seasoning, and then put them back till they are nice and golden. Olive oil done. A little bit sprinkle of the dry spice mix. These will cook covered initially, and then we will take them out, uncover them, and cook again. Chicken rolls going into the oven to bake at 375 Fahrenheit for 20 to 25 minutes. So the timer has gone off on the chicken. We will take it out, take a look at it, season it, and put it back into the oven to bake till it's nice and golden brown. And I can tell you the aroma of sage is delicious. So taking a quick peek, just what I had expected. They look cooked, and see the steam coming out of it. That's beautiful, just what I wanted. A good dressing of the remaining seasoning, and then this will bake for another 20 to 30 minutes when we see a little bit of golden brown on top of the chicken, which by the way is already there. So I'm happy with the results. The chicken now out of the oven, nice and brown, ready. Looks good. Chicken out of the oven, nice and done. And now it is the time to slice it. Chicken is nicely done. I was able to slice it quite easily. Plate. A little bit of the seasoning. I'm serving it with a gravy of chicken broth with garlic and herb flavors. I will add the recipe into the description.